Namaste friends. Today I want to sit down with you and talk openly and honestly about the future of offshore surveying in India. No hype, no big promises, just an open heart-to-heart communication about what is really coming in our way in the future. Because after 2026 budget, a lot of people in our industry are a bit of confused. Some are expecting a boom and some are expecting this industry to slow down. And many young surveyors are wondering, what should I prepare for? Will there be enough job for us in the future? So let's clear the fog and discuss openly about what is going to be in the future. Please note that this is all my personal opinion and my own personal experience working in this industry for last 40 years. First, let me say this very clearly. There is no big boom coming. The industry is not dying either. We are entering a transition phase, and any transition, any change is always a little bit uncomfortable. The old type of work, the oil and gas surveys, the dredging work, the maintenance work, they will continue, but they will not see a much growth. They will stay steady, predictable, but not exciting. The new type of work, CCUS, offshore wind, digital mapping, inland waterways, these will grow, but slowly. It will not be one big jump. So the next few years will feel more stable but tight. There will be more competition, more pressure on pricing. There will be more demand for specialized skills, and there will be less reward for simple generic surveys. That is the honest picture. Now let's talk about 2026 budget. It mentions ports, digital twins, CCUS, inland waterways, all big words. But you and I know how things work in India. Announcements comes first and actual projects comes much later. So don't expect a fireworks in 2026. It will be slow and steady shift. The first new opportunities will come from the inland waterways. New waterways are being developed and government has announced 265 crore rupees or approximately 32 million US dollar as grants for operationalizing 20 new inland waterways over the next 5 years. So a lot of dredging will happen, channel maintenance survey will happen, there will be need for port baseline surveys, and this work is real. But yes, the rates will be low, competition will be high, and payment incoming will be slow. Still, it is a dependable, recurring work. The second opportunity is going to be the modernization of the ports. The ports are moving towards digital twin and regular monitoring of the status. They will need a quarterly or monthly bathymetry. They want environmental data, they want a digital deliverables. So the government has allocated 6,800 crore rupees or about 815 million US dollar in 3 different schemes for maritime infrastructure, port infrastructure and port modernization and coastal community development. This is going to be a recurring work, but ports are now expect more than a bathymetry survey. They want interpretation, they want insights. If you are doing only generic bathymetric survey, you will be pushed aside. Now let's talk about the CCUS. A lot of people are talking about that. The government has allocated 20,000 crore or approximately 2.4 billion USD in a multi-year financial commitment. What is CCUS? It is the carbon capture, utilization and storage. This is now one of the most hyped topic. But let me be blunt. CCUS is not going to explode in 2026. India is still at the pilot stage. From 2026 to 2028, the work is going to be small. Baseline survey, shallow seismic survey, and a little bit of geotechnical sampling. The big offshore storage surveys, the heavy stuff, they will come later in 2028 and 2029. So CCUS is real but slow. So don't build your entire future on it just yet. Offshore wind, everyone is talking about it. But on the ground, nothing major is happening. Policies are slow, developers are cautious. So don't expect big offshore wind projects before 2027 or 2028. Now let me tell you what will not happen no matter what anyone says to you. Oil and gas exploration will not suddenly jump. Deep water exploration is not gonna come back. Offshore wind will not give you a big contract in 2026. And CCUS injection sites will not be ready before 2028. Better to accept this now than disappointment later. Friends, only 23% of you have subscribed to my channel. If you are in an offshore surveying company, then it is the right time to subscribe to my channel. If you appreciate what I do in this channel and if my videos have helped you in any way, then consider becoming a member of this channel. Just click on this join button. So what are the real opportunities for the surveyors? Inland waterways, it will be guaranteed work. Port digitalization, it will be recurring work. Subsea pipeline routing, especially for CCUS and coastal cargo. CCUS baseline studies, medium but steady. Environmental and mid-ocean work. Every project needs it now. And digital products, dashboards, models, predictions, clients want all of this. This is where the future lies. Now comes the uncomfortable truth. The market will reward the specialist, not the generalist. If you were good with AUVs or ROV inspection or CCUS geophysics or digital twins or environmental monitoring or even a drone surveyor, you will grow. If you stay generic, you will struggle. So what do you need to stay relevant in this transition phase? So this is a list that I prepared as per my own understanding of the offshore surveying scenario. First, learn the basics, geodesy, projection and datum. Next is data interpretation and data modeling. No, I'm not talking about data processing, though it will be handy if you know processing. You need to understand what the data actually means and how to convert that data in a 3D digital twin. Third, learn AUV and USV survey, planning and execution. Next, I suggest you understand the geophysics and how a geophysical equipment give you the data. I'm not asking you to be an engineer or a geophysicist. I'm asking you to understand how to interpret the data and convert them in a digital model. Learn seismic survey and all the equipment associated with it. As a surveyor, you should also learn about meteorological and oceanographic data. I'm not asking you to compete with oceanographer, but if you know and understand the tides, the currents, the wind, and how to measure them and understand the vertical datum fully, then you will be in high demand. Next, I ask you to learn LiDAR survey, terrestrial LiDAR as well as topography aerial LiDAR. How to operate them, how to process and interpret the data, and how to create a digital model. This will be very high in demand. Get a drone pilot license. Learn how to plan a survey line. Learn how LiDAR works in a drone and what are the best time and best approach to a survey. Lastly, I would strongly advise you to learn AI. Learn how best you can assimilate or integrate AI in your daily workflow. AI is everywhere. Do not waste your time in making silly images and videos and just use it for drafting CV or sending emails. Learn how to simplify your workflow, spend less time in doing mundane daily work, and how to automate them. Work smarter, not harder. The days of just doing the bathymetry is over. Client want data interpretation, client want data modeling, client want digital deliverables. This is the new reality. So what should surveyor be mentally prepared for? More competition, lower margins in simple surveys, longer project cycles, there will be more environmental rules, and a much higher expectation of technical depth. And finally, the honest message. Offshore surveying in India is not going to explode in 2026, but it will slowly shift into new areas. Surveyors who upgrade their skills will survive and grow, and surveyors who stuck behind doing the general surveys will fall behind. So going forward, learn your equipment, how they work, what data they give. Learn the basics of survey. Learn how to work with what you already have and not wasting time for what you do not have. Adapt the changes. Learn to flow with the tide. Learn to ask questions and always be curious. The future is not bad. It's just different and we need to be ready for it.